Stablecoin volume on decentralized exchanges is often promoted as a metric of DEX health, or of protocol utility, or of user interest, or of profitability for the LPs who want to be in those stable pools for zero risk APR. But I love being the bearer of bad news, and I'm here to tell you that stablecoin volume is just meaningless. The general uselessness of stablecoin volume all comes down to one thing: doesn't make any money. About 70% of the TVL of stablecoin pairs on Uniswap v3 are in pools with a 1 basis point fee, and almost all of the rest of the TVL is in stablecoin pairs and pools with a 5 basis point fee. And all of the examples in this video are going to come from the Uni v3 analytics page for the 24-hour period leading up to October 23rd, which was the day that Bitcoin broke 31K for the first time in like months. And that's important because the volume in these pools is going to be above average. And as you'll see, even when we look at the above average numbers, still doesn't make any money. We're going to start by looking at 4 different stablecoin pools. The first and largest pool is both an example and a warning. A warning to everyone who thinks that the at best 4% APR in these pools is worth the risk. And that pool is the USDC UST pool. UST, of course, is the stablecoin from Terra Luna. And this particular stablecoin pool should serve as a warning to anyone and everyone who thinks that LPing in these pools comes with reduced risk. It doesn't. When Terra Luna and UST went to zero, all of the USDC was drained from this pool, leaving nearly 100 million in UST with 0 USDC. Now, you know and I know that UST is worthless, but the pool doesn't, which is why these stablecoin DPEGs are so dangerous. If either one of these stablecoin DPEGs, you will be left with a portfolio worth $0 and 0 cents, and more importantly, 0 satoshis. When you LP in a stablecoin pool, you are essentially doubling your risk exposure. If you just held each of these assets in stables in a wallet, I mean, yeah, the UST would still be worthless, but at least you would get to keep the USDC. But in a concentrated liquidity AMM, which is what Uni v3 is, you don't have control over your trades. When Uni v3 was released, people were lauding it for being a potential limit order engine. But as we would all soon find out, limit orders placed through Uni v3 are reversible. And the not quite limit orders of Uni v3 were extremely vulnerable to MEV. Also, I made a whole video about how Carbon DeFi allows you to make irreversible MEV protected limit orders. When you look at this lack of control and increased risk exposure for stablecoin pairs on Uni v3, the risk isn't justified by the very mediocre returns generated by these pools. And as funny and tragic as it is that the USDC UST stable pool on Uni v3 is still the largest pool, none of these pairs make money. So here is the DAI USDC 1 basis point pool. It's got about 100 million in it. And in the last 24 hours, the volume on this pool is $6.68 million, and the volume is up 148%. And that makes sense because this data is coming from the evening of October 23rd, and Bitcoin is still pumping. This pool generated a whopping $700 in fees. Actually, I was actually going to round that up, but rounding it up to $700 is more than 5% error. It made $668. You multiply that by 365 days and you get around $245,000, which gives you an annualized rate of return of 0.24%. As in, if you put in $10,000 to this pool, at the end of 1 year it would be worth $10,024. $24 and change, it just isn't worth the risk. Maybe we should do another pool. This is the DAI USDC 5 basis point pool. So it's the same coins, but now the fee is 5 times bigger. This has about 60 million in it. The volume is $470,000, which is up 1,900%. So this is doing way more volume than normal. And the 24-hour earnings on this pool are $235. 235 times 365 days divided by $60 million is 0.14% per year. As in, if you put in $10,000, at the end of 1 year, you would have $10,014. Maybe we should use a different token. What about Fracks? Fracks is the most innovative decentralized stablecoin in the world, per their own website. And Fracks is a great protocol with a good stablecoin, and so is DAI and USDC, and for that matter, Uni v3. I'm actually not here to trash any of these projects. I'm here to let you know that the metric of stablecoin volume just isn't a good one to use. And also, one of the main reasons there isn't much interest in crypto right now is because there isn't much interest in crypto right now. Literally. The interest rate you earn on stablecoins is so low, people don't care about it. I mean, why would someone take $10 million and put it in the DAI USDC pool for less than 1% APR when they could just buy a 20-year treasury bond, which pays a guaranteed 4.3% APR? And that's backed by the US military. Do you really think that JP Morgan Chase is going to look at Tether or DAI or USDC or any stablecoin and think, wow, two of those are good enough that I would spend $10 million to put them in a place where they could be laundered by terrorists in the form of wash trading, all for the benefit of 1/20th of the interest of the US Treasury bond? Never gonna happen. But they really wouldn't be much better in the Frack's USDC pool either, because again, this isn't about Frax or USDC or DAI or UniV3, it's about the profitability of LPing in these stablecoin pools. The Frax USDC 5 basis point pool has about $90 million and about $60,000 in volume, which is up 700% from the prior 24 hours. And the fees generated by this pool are $30. $30 a day, 365 days a year, divided by the total of 90 million is an APR that is so small that my calculator actually just puts it in scientific notation. As in, if you put in $10,000 for a year, you would have $10,001.76. Those treasury bonds are starting to look pretty good, aren't they? For comparison's sake, the Bancor DAO has a decentralized arbitrage bot that anyone can run through Bancor 3. It splits the profits of any arbs it finds between the bot's owner and Bancor 3 50-50. On October 23, the same time frame as the rest of this video, the Arb Bot made $2,500. And if you want to be a part of the network which runs this bot, which aggregates arbitrage opportunities between Carbon DeFi, Bancor 3, UniV2, UniV3, Balancer, PancakeSwap, and SushiSwap, then you can check out links in the description. And if you want to learn how you can create irreversible MEV protected limit orders through Carbon, then you can check these videos. See you next time.